Hello everyone, this is March the 29th, 2013, a Friday. It's Good Friday, yeah. Anyway, happy Easter to you all. I took this cone that I used to use as a steady on the end of a pipe, and what I did, I drilled a 3/8 hole in the part by the chuck, and I tapped it for a 3/8 bolt, and then I cut the head off a bolt, and I turned the bolt into that cone. Then I put a nut on and locked it so that can stay inside of the 3-jaw chuck. Right now I am drilling a hole inside there to accept those two bearings, and that's a Morse Tapered 2, and I took that out of a drill chuck and I turned down the end of it to accept two 1/2-inch ID bearings, which I pressed on, and those are going to go inside this here end, the big end of the cone, so that I could put that Morse taper into the end of the tailstock. And then I could put that into the end of a pipe when I want to center something and turn something true. Anyway, I'll just keep... Okay, this is the rest of the story. I just turned it on so you can see what's going on. That cone is pretty true. The only way I can get it steadied because of this machine is to put that steady rest open and then get the max that I could where it's sitting now so it can ride pretty true. Anyway, I'm going to keep drilling it and see if we can set those bearings inside that hole. Okay, here's the next part. What I've done here, I've gone from one drill up to the next drill, every other drill, incrementally, until I got to this largest drill I have. And I'm probably going to have to bore that out a little bit and to get a perfect fit. So I marked each drill so that I can get pretty close to a perfect fit. Okay, the next part, as you can see, I just finished boring it. And I'm going to test the bearing in it and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, there's the contraption I used, and now the next thing I want to do is I want to drill that hole out, that 3/8 hole. I think it's a 1/2-inch hole. I want to drill that out to 9/16 so that if I have to push the bearings out, I can push them out from this side and tap them out the other end. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm pressing that front bearing all the way in as far as I can press it, and then I'm going to try the next one, putting the shaft into that bearing. That's my hydraulic press I made. Nifty little machine. Okay, just for a test, I put a dead end in the tailstock, and I put the tapered end of that cone in the chuck, and it shouldn't move. It should just spin on the bearings. Well, that's not too bad. It's got a slight off center maybe, or maybe the bearings are just a little tight in there, but it's good enough for what I gotta do. Now I can turn a big pipe on the other end. Well, there's the end of the story. This isn't really my idea. I got this from another machinist friend of mine, Miles, and he made a big one he's got big lathes, so, but I needed a small one for my small lathe for doing like 2.5-inch pipe, plumbing pipe, so there it is. End of the story. Happy Easter to everybody. March the 29th, 2013. Well, I guess I'm going to add another piece just for the heck of it. I got a piece of junk pipe outside. I didn't clean it. Didn't clean the inside of it either. I just put it in the 3-jaw chuck. And I mounted the cone on the tailstock. I don't know if you're going to see it or not. No, that's not too bad. A lot of sun here. Yeah, that's a better shot. Maybe like that. Works pretty good. I guess once I clean the inside of the pipes, and I'll be able to center that pipe and clean it down. You all have a good day. Keep smiling. Okay, I'm going to add a little more to the story. This is March the 30th, 2013, and I decided to tap into the front of that cone. I drilled it out for national pipe thread, a 3/8 national pipe thread, and I put it in, screwed it into the front of the cone so I could mount it inside the chuck, so I could true up this whole cone with Morse Tapered on it. Anyway, I'm going to take it all apart and show you what it's like. Okay, so there we see the 3/8 national pipe thread nipple that I pulled out. Then I re-tapped that hole to M18 by 1.5 threads, and then I went on the lathe and I turned this here piece of brass, which is M18 by 1.5 threads, and I put it into the front of this cone, and I'll show you a picture of that. Okay, now this is the end of the story. So besides having a Morse tapered cone to go on the end of a pipe if I want to true up a pipe, I now have a brass tip on the end also that I can use for smaller objects or smaller little pipes or anything with a hole in it. Just like an end piece on the tailstock. Anyway, that's it. Nice story. Hope you like it. Hope you can use one. Go ahead and make it. Well, this is March 31st, Happy Easter, and I might as well add this other piece with the pipe finally in and just cleaning it up a bit so you can see how that tailstock centering piece works. I like it pretty much, pretty steady. And I'm going to take that out. I'll just let that go a little bit and I'll take it out and I'll show you with the brass tip. And there you have it, working with the brass tip on that center end with the Morse Tapered 2 going into the tailstock.